You know, part of what the column's about, Tom, is like, for a lot of people, it's an education issue, right? It's that, well, what is it that I can actually do with my iPhone or my MacBook that's unique to Apple that I couldn't do with something else? You know, I think that there's a great and growing consensus that part of it is that the consumer doesn't really know what it is they're supposed to be doing with it. Now, that said, you know, Mark Gurman and the team have detailed what a new Siri looks like, chief among that being a standalone app, something akin to ChatGPT. I know you're a big user of some of the other tools as well.
Okay, but I got it here on the phone. Paul's going to put his up too.
Yep.
I have Gemini, which I use in the studio here, folks, through Bloomberg. Love it, Mr. Secunda. I have Claude, which I never use. Mandeep thinks I'm an idiot. And I have Perplexity, which I live on. And what do you have?
Oh, I got my own window for my AI here. Got
You
my
have
own
a
little
separate
bubble. I
window.
got Gemini, ChatGPT. And I'm trying Grok. I don't know where that came from.
Ed,
Yes.
we're on an iPhone and we're using all this stuff. Why do I need Siri?
Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. Okay, so what do all of those things you've just listed have in common? They are standalone apps. They work across devices. So if you think about Apple more holistically, there's an installed base, 2.5 billion devices around the world, from iPhone to Mac and iPad, other devices. The main feature that's critically important with what we think is coming with a standalone Siri app is that it endures. The conversation can be started on your iPhone and picked up on Mac in exactly the same way that a ChatGPT works, for example, whether you're at a low free tier or a higher subscription tier. It goes from a place where Siri is takes a voice command as a prompt and takes a single action to a multi-step action. You know, and keeps the context, keeps the story, and has a good insight into. I don't want you to look in Tom Keen's calendar. I've tried, by the way. You know, like, do you know how difficult it is to get a coffee on 6 with Tom on the sofa? A human to this point has had to interject. But if Siri's additional capabilities are going to be, as Bloomberg's reported, then you can do that. It will know where you are at 12 p.m. Eastern time on Friday.
Okay.
It will say, I know where Ed Ludlow will be. Let's make it happen.
I know we're lucky. Okay, so Ed Ludlow, folks, is not at the Apple place. That's a backdrop. He's having a Voyager craft coffee in Cupertino right now. What Paul and I know, Ed, is we have breaking news in your world. And help me here, Cy. Intel's up 13%, is it? 13% right now.
Yeah. So
Google placed Intel order.
I see the report
for more than 3 million TPUs. Help.
What's going on there, Ed?
TPUs. This is again, this is the information reporting that both Google and NVIDIA have approached Intel to be a backup chip maker.
Wow.
Chip maker being as in contract manufacturer of chips. That's why NVIDIA would be on the same lower third or same NI head as Google. The TPU right now is done in partnership with Broadcom from a design and development perspective. It's still fabbed by a third party, that third party being TSMC. So it is not a surprise if the headline is accurate that Intel would make an upward move like that. Intel has been seeking a lifeline for its business of being a third party chip manufacturer. Its foundry business. It has not ever been able to publicly name like one big anchor customer for its latest nodes and processes. So again, I see the same headlines you guys see, but the move is not surprising if the report's accurate.
Ed, this is going to be the last developer conference for CEO Tim Cook. Anything unusual expected today or tomorrow?
Don't know anything unusual expected. You know, part of the reporting when the news that John Turnus would take over September 1st came out was that it would allow for WWDC to happen, and then you go into the fall when the devices refresh cycle starts, and Apple tends to bring out its latest generations of hardware. It kind of ties it to the stock story, right, which is well read on the terminal today, that Apple has been an outperformer, at least in this calendar year so far. It's the second best performing name on the Mag 7. A part of that is sort of in spite of no AI story, but also some feel good about this transition that Apple has handled wonderfully well, according to the sell side.
Ed, Cupertino is obviously the center of attention here for the tech world today and tomorrow, but that's going to shift very clearly towards the end of the week as we potentially price the SpaceX IPO Thursday afternoon, maybe trade that thing on Friday. What's the word in Silicon Valley about SpaceX?
What's the backstory, Ed Ludlow?
Yeah, I mean, like what I kept hearing, and I talked about this at the moment that the S1A hit. They priced this IPO at $135 a share prior to the roadshow. It's highly unusual. As we always discuss, Elon Musk doesn't do things in the typical fashion and doesn't conform to Wall Street norms, etc. But what I continue hearing is that was deeply strategic. 135 at the offering values the company at 1.77 trillion. It gives a lot of room to put the ball in the market's court and have Wall Street come back and say, no, guys, come on. You can price this at 140, 150 a share. And so what I expect is that to happen by pricing on Thursday, and buckle up for a day of trading on Friday that who knows what will happen. Insert any given space pun here, out of this world. It's going to really take off, etc. But yeah, a deeply conscious decision by the SpaceX finance org.
Okay, are they going to amend that this week? I mean, how's the roadshow going? I saw Mr. Diamond was flogging it for J.P. Morgan. Come on, Ed, you are in tune here. What is the backstory on how they have to adjust over the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days?
Yeah, I mean, what they are actually doing at the last minute is introducing a slightly new story. I don't know if you guys saw the regulatory filing Friday.
Yes, I read it.
Google is going to pay $925 million per month for compute. So there's the immediate story. SpaceX is a company that launches rockets, and on that rocket is some kind of payload for a public or private sector customer.
Right.
Then in the very distant future, it sells AI to enterprises. In the interim, everyone I speak to on the cap table is saying they are playing a blinder by hedging their bets, becoming a hyperscaler, selling compute capacity. There are big questions about why don't they need their own. But yeah, this is interesting timing, pre-pricing of trade.